Hey guys, I'm not too sure how to start off this topic, but about 2 months ago, I uploaded a 37-minute video regarding my personal experience with the YouTuber SSJ Blake, Brenna Okazaki, as well as their friend Mercedes, who now goes by the name of Amentheus Scribe or something like that, and how they were so rude to me and such. Neither of them have responded or commented on my statements, but before I got straight to that topic, I started the first 5 minutes of the video discussing a topic I felt I needed to get off my chest. Something to do with one of their former associates, Multiverse Sonic, that I disagreed with, and I unintentionally caught his attention regarding that subject, despite the fact that the video was mainly focused on my issues with Blake, Brenna, and Mercedes. Multiverse Sonic sounded pretty annoyed, but I can't say that I blame him. What the subject was that caught his attention was when I said for him to either bring back the characters Brandy the Lycan, Multiverse Sonic's wife, and their adopted son, Metal Sonic. And I also told him to quit his AU if he refuses. And was he pretty uncompromising? Yeah, pretty much. Do I regret telling him that? Not at all. And my word has not changed either, that he either needs to bring those characters back or quit the series. And did you honestly think that you had told me off? I don't think so. I'm not that easy to get rid of. But anyway, to say that Multiverse Sonic was annoyed would be an understatement. And honestly, I did not actually expect to get a response from him. Even with his name tagged in the video, not trying to get off topic here, but let's say that my thoughts to Multiverse Sonic killing off Brandy and Meadow were basically like, say, how Pam from The Office felt about Michael dating her mother. And it's basically how I feel towards people like David Zaslav, Elon Musk, and Ian Flynn, meaning those guys need to get lives. They don't know how to properly do what they do, and they straight up need to be fired in order to improve Twitter, Warner Brothers, and the Sonic franchise. But anyway, let's get back to the topic. 8 hours after I posted the video, Multiverse Sonic responded, "Note that our conversation has been deleted, but I still have Multiverse Sonic's responses saved in my Gmail. But unfortunately, I cannot say the same for mine. But I do remember what my responses were. Anyway, let's get into it. I'm going to point out, I'm going to point out, he said, I'm going to point out some facts to everything he says as I go on. Multiverse Sonic started off by saying, I want to say something in regards to everything you just said in this video. Pause. Did you honestly? You only chastised me for telling you what to do with your content, and you were not even remotely concerned about the other shit that doesn't involve you. Nor did you even address your beef with Flame King until I brought him up. Before I get back on topic, let me mention something that wasn't clarified when we last spoke. I believe because I feel that there's something you're not telling me. Now listen hard to this, so I can make myself more clear. Flame King, as I mentioned before, when I sent you his video, did mention you. He said that you said something to him that made him really upset when he tried apologizing to you, Brenna, and Blake. Although he said he wasn't going to go into details, and that even though you said that people tend to lie about you, and that you're no longer friends with Blake and Brenna, let me make this very, very clear to you, Nick. And if you responded, and, and if you respond, don't leave out, and if you respond, don't leave out any details. The reason why I believe him is I've been through the shit that Blake and Brenna put him through. I know how he feels. Because I've stated in my last video, Blake and Brenna and Mercedes were absolute assholes to me by blocking me when they accused me of saying something creepy about Brandy when I know I didn't. And no matter how much I tried apologizing to them and explaining, they had to be assholes. So I know exactly how he feels and how hurt he was when you said whatever it was you said to him. And keep in your damn mind that the second key reason why I believe him is because this happened while you were still friends with Blake. So answer me this. Before you had your falling out with him, why did you condone Blake being such an asshole to his fans? Why the fuck didn't you stop him? That is what I'd like to know. Anyway, let's get back to this topic. Multiversonic then said, firstly, no, I am not recasting Brandy because that character does not belong to me. Yeah, no fucking surprise you were gonna say that. Then he said, secondly, you got the reasons for them being gone completely wrong. Okay, okay, Multi, I will confess. Yes, I purposely exaggerated that fact while I was recording the video. I did it as a way to express my disagreement to the decisions you and Blake have made in your AU. And I made that statement as a comparison to both of the major outrageous paths you have taken in in this series. And the comparison I'm referring to is killing off characters who is in a relationship and or married to a character and ruining that relationship. That is the comparison. Also, when you said them, I wasn't sure if you were referring to the reasons why these characters were killed off or the reason why Blake and Brenna left. Yes, I am aware of Blake's crime, but that was revealed long after he left your AU. Also, when he did leave, he stated the reason why he was because he wasn't having fun making VR chat videos anymore or something. And Brenna said she left because she was moving in with him. So I have no idea if they were lying or not, or at least not then. And in your last video, where the characters are mentioned titled Multi Snaps, I gave the video a dislike and reported it, by the way, when you were giving Blake and Brenna a farewell send off and thank you for being part of your series and shit, were you only saying that to play coy and not let anyone know that, oh, you ended your friendship with them and then you just decide to now finally confess now that everybody knows Blake's crime or something? That's what I appear to be gathering. Then he says, although the channel is not the same without them, he cannot and will not bring back the old stuff because of what Blake did to him and his friends and others too. I know what Blake did to you is clearly inexcusable, but I never said anything like you have to affiliate with them anymore. I just said to give Multi his goddamn family back. Jeez, is that such? Is it such a crime that I have developed an attachment to these characters and how well they benefited the series? On to on. To be honest with you, Brandy reminds me of my partner, which is one reason I really like her. And Metal Sonic is nice and adorable, which is why I like him. He's not the evil Metal Sonic we all know. While I fully agree that it was terrible what Blake did and how he betrayed you, but still, I like these characters. Let me add this for an example. Pay close attention. I still like the original Charlie Brown, the Christmas one, which was which was the very first short, despite that his original voice actor got arrested and even said some pretty awful stuff too. I mean, he's dead now, but I saw a YouTube video that was suggested to me. It was uploaded about 7 years ago. It was about his court hearing. But despite this, I still watch the Christmas short with my grandma every December. And same thing with R. Kelly. I'm fully aware that he's serving a life sentence, but despite that, I still like his songs. I still listen to his songs. I happen to be into 90s and R&B and Evanescence. Is it wrong to like the characters and media associated with specific people but not be too fond of their actions in real life? That that's what I do. Like say I like Harry Potter, but won't watch anything else else Daniel Radcliffe is associated with, knowing he can be full of himself. Same with George Clooney. I like Batman and Fantastic Mr. Fox, but not a big fan of his real life persona. Anyway, I'll get back to the rest of my argument with Multi. There there isn't too much left in between. In between, we basically were discussing Flame King, which he, as I stated, denied having any beef with. But afterwards, we got back on the subject. At one point, I did start talking back to him. The more assertive he kept sounding, he said, for crying out loud, what part of the stream where I discussed that I don't affiliate with them or the characters anymore did you not understand? I responded saying that I understood it fully but chose to ignore it, and added that I fall asleep when watching live streams anyway, and even said that I wasn't asking, I wasn't suggesting, and I wasn't requesting him to bring back the characters. I was telling him, I was demanding, I was ordering him to do so, and at one point was even saying, I don't understand you. Are you sure you're speaking English? And said, let's see if you understand this. And I typed for him to bring back Brandy and Metal or quit his channel in Spanish. This was when he was really losing his patience. He said, you don't get to decide when I'm done with my channel, bud. I make that call, not you. I may not get to decide that, but I am allowed to decide if I want to let this go or not, bud. And he said, you may have been a fan in the past, but the fans don't control every single thing I do for my channel. You don't see YouTubers like Jacksepticeye or Markipeller or Corey Kenshin, whoever the hell that is, listen to haters telling them that they should quit because they refuse to bring back the old stuff. I don't recall them ever having those issues. And lastly, he said, people change. You need to accept that, or else you're not a true fan. Bottom line. Well, first off, bud, was that supposed to guilt trip me? Do you honestly think I'd be making this video if I still gave a shit about being a fan of yours or not? Second off, I don't need to accept anything. I need what I say I need. And lastly, yes, those YouTubers you mentioned would certainly not listen to haters' complaints, but I've heard of dozens of YouTubers who have quit YouTube because they didn't want to deal with criticizers anymore. That shows they can't ignore them forever. Also, you should look into the case with Boogie 2988 and Frank Hassel. Although I am not at all a fan of Frank because of how twisted he is, but this is one case where the harasser actually won, seeing that Boogie actually got arrested and Frank didn't. You stated and you stated I was a fan in the past. Well, I'm surprised you even pay attention to YouTube comments. But anyway, you use the term fan as if you're someone to worship. You don't scare me, Nick. You don't get to decide if I keep doing this or not. Bottom line. Also, a supporter of yours who calls himself Sonic and Friends 13 confronted me last February, a month after I made that video, and he would not shut up. Every time I responded to him, he responded back. Also, at the time, he had texted me. I was having a good time. I was chilling with my friends on VR chat, and this dude had to go and ruin it. I even maturely said that I was busy and I'll argue about it tomorrow, but no, he has to do it now. I had to log off the chat and let out some anger for about 11 minutes before logging back on. After we all got off the chat, that's when I responded to his chastising. I told him firmly that he is not going to change my mind on this matter. At some point, I was tempted to pretend like he actually got through to me just so he'd leave me alone, but instead I just decided to simply tell my friend Joseph to deal with him and shut him up. Joseph told me that he really is a handful, and even viewed his channel, and by the looks of his content, all he does is post controversial things about users, and there's absolutely nothing positive on his channel at all. He really likes gaslighting people and making them seem worse than they already are, and doesn't look at positive sides at all. And to be honest with you, I was actually going to wait a couple months to post this, but his outlandish slander talk has forced me to do this sooner. To end this off for now, because this will not be the last time you'll hear from me on this, and unlike you, I don't lose my shit and throw tantrums on camera like you did in your stream about Blake. If you want to blow off your steam, pause the camera, uh, pause the camera and go do it outside or something. That's my that's the last thing I have to say on this matter, and I will be back on this if I feel like I have to.